For decades, the idea of reversing aging has felt like pure science fiction. But what if I told you we could actually turn back the clock on a biological level? Today, we are diving into a story that could literally change how we understand aging itself. A truly groundbreaking clinical trial is happening right now, and its goal is to do just that. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Think about it. We've always been told that aging is just this inevitable one-way journey, right? But what if it isn't? What if all the decline we associate with getting older is actually reversible? This is the huge fundamental question that this radical new science is forcing us all to ask.
And get this isn't just a theory anymore. Earlier this year, in 2026, the FDA gave the official green light for the first ever human trial of a technology called cellular reprogramming. A scientific dream 30 years in the making is finally being tested on people.
So how in the world does this incredible idea actually work? Well, it all started with this 30-year-old dream of basically resetting our biological code. And to get it, we really need to look at this powerful analogy for how our cells store and, lose information over time.
Okay, so check out this brilliant analogy from Harvard professor David Sinclair's lab. Think of your DNA as the music on a CD. The song itself, your core genetic information, it's always there, it's perfect. But over time, that CD gets scratched up. The laser can't read the information properly anymore. This therapy doesn't try to rewrite the song, it just polishes the CD. So the cell can perfectly read its own youthful code again. Pretty amazing, right?
The company that's bringing this from the lab into the clinic is Life Biosciences. And at the very heart of their experimental drug, which is called ER-100, is a special reprogramming cocktail known as OSK. And this is where the science gets truly fascinating.
The key term you're going to hear is partial cellular reprogramming. And here's what that means. The goal is not to take, say, a 60-year-old eye cell and turn it back into a totally blank baby stem cell. I mean, that would be chaos, right? No, the goal is to make that 60-year-old eye cell start acting and functioning like a 30-year-old eye cell, basically resetting its age-related scratches while it keeps its specialized job.
So, how do they pull it off? Well, the therapy uses 3 proteins known as Yamanaka factors, and these things can literally rewind a cell's development. Specifically, we're talking about OCT4, SOX2, and KLF4. Put them together, and you get OSK.
And this slide right here shows the crucial game-changing innovation. See, early research used 4 factors, OSKM, and that 4-factor cocktail was so powerful it could completely wipe a cell's memory, which is great for lab research, but way too dangerous for therapy. The huge breakthrough from Life Biosciences was realizing that using only 3 of those factors, just the OSK, was the key.
So the bottom line is this. By taking out that 4th M factor, you basically create a built-in safety switch. The system can rejuvenate the cell, but it just can't be pushed hard enough to erase its identity. It's just an incredibly elegant solution that cracked one of the biggest safety problems in the whole field.
All right, so how did we get from a brilliant idea in the lab to actually treating human beings? Well, this technology didn't just jump from a petri dish into people. The journey to this year's trial was paved with some unbelievably promising results in animal studies. It all started with just staggering success in rodents, where scientists used this exact OSK recipe to restore vision after a really severe optic nerve injury. I mean, wow. From there, they moved on to non-human primates, which helped establish the safety and effectiveness even more. With all that incredible data, they finally went to the FDA, which gave them the clearance to begin human trials this year. So for this first trial, they're focusing on 2 really devastating age-related diseases that cause blindness. The first is open-angle glaucoma, and the other is a condition called NAION, which is basically a stroke of the eye. It's actually the most common cause of sudden optic nerve vision loss in adults over 50. And the eye is the perfect place to start, because it's a contained system and it's easy to observe what's going on. So we've got the science, we've got the history, but what's actually happening right now in the clinic with these first human patients?
The treatment itself is given as a single injection. It's a one-shot gene therapy. But here's the really clever part. It's controlled by a switch. After the injection, patients take a super common, safe drug called doxycycline. And that drug acts like the on switch, telling the cells to start making those 3 rejuvenating OSK factors.
And that switch stays on for a continuous 8-week period. So this isn't just a quick little zap. The data from all those animal studies showed that this longer, continuous expression was both safe and much more effective at getting that significant reprogramming.
And yeah, this isn't some far-off future thing. This is all happening as we speak. The first patients were enrolled back in March. Obviously, the trial is going to proceed very carefully, but the company is hoping to have enough data on these first doses by the end of this year to know if they're really on the right track.
Okay, let's just zoom out for a second. Because if this works, it's not just about curing blindness. This single trial could represent a massive turning point for how we approach medicine and, well, aging itself.
People inside the longevity field are not mincing words here. They are calling this a seismic event. Think about it. For the first time ever, a therapy is being tested in humans that doesn't just treat the downstream symptoms of getting old, but targets the upstream root causes of aging.
And a huge reason this is even possible is a real shift in the regulatory environment. Yuri Degin, who's a CEO of another company in this space, pointed out that the FDA has been notably open and forward-thinking. They really worked with the scientists, helping to figure out a safe path forward instead of just, putting up roadblocks.
And this brings us right back to the incredible potential here. As David Sinclair himself said, success in the eye could unlock a whole new generation of therapies that target aging across all tissues. The eye is just the proving ground. If you can reboot eye cells, why not liver cells, or heart cells, or maybe even brain cells?
So this really isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening now. We are living through what could be a pivotal moment in the history of medicine. Which brings me to a final, really provocative question for you. If this therapy proves to be both safe and effective, would you be willing to polish your own biological scratched CD?